Well, good morning, gang. Welcome to Thoughts Can Change Your Life with me, Reverend Wolak. It's always good to be with you and begin the day sharing thoughts, ideas, exploring concepts of life. So today I ask the question we can ask ourselves: who's holding you prisoner? That's right. Who's holding you from being able to be your greatest self? Who's holding you from doing things that really juice you? It's all based on one thing: the perspective through which we look at life. Our perspective is either freedom or our perspective is imprisonment. And you say, well, how do I get this perspective of imprisonment? Well, first off, is if you define whatever you see on the basis of what your past has been, you're imprisoned to see everything as your past. From your past experiences, every person you've ever met, anything new you see, you will base on that perspective. Or you'll see things from the perspective that you've allowed others to give you, that you blindly have accepted that that's your way of looking at it. Idea of what that means? Well, having been brought up as Catholic, suffering is the key to getting into heaven. You must suffer to know the Lord. That's nonsense. That's nonsense. Worrying, Zach, about the opinions of others. Let me ask this question. Are they with you when you're sitting at home? Are they with you when you're doing things? Why do you drag the opinions of others, or maybe even the fear of what their opinions might be, even though you don't even know their opinion, with you wherever you go? And I'm not talking about you, Zach. I'm talking about everybody. We tend to do that. And we sort of say, well, that's sort of silly. But yet when we do that, guess what? We put ourselves in the prison. Where's our prison? It's in our own mind. And who has the key? We do, because we control our own minds. You see, advertising, the purpose of advertising is to get into people's heads and control their mind. The purpose of social media, get into people's heads and control their minds. The purpose of any business through advertising, get in people's heads and control their mind. The purpose of politicians, get in people's heads and control their mind. The purpose of religion, to get into people's heads and control their mind. They can't do it if you don't give them permission. The purpose of some people dating, spouses, children, to control your mind. Don't give them that permission. The only person that should be controlling your mind is you, because the life that you have, the perspective that you have, is about you. It's not about anyone else. It's not about pleasing anyone. You weren't brought here. You are not here. I don't know who brought us here, but you're not here to please anybody. When you do that, man, what a sense of freedom. The prison door, the prison just freaking disappears. It just explodes into nothing. That's fascinating. Where in your life do you believe you've most held yourself back? Corey says, sometimes I don't do new things. I think it's anxiety of doing it with the possibility of things going wrong. Let me ask this question. How can anything go wrong if you control the perspective of what's going on? It's not that it goes wrong. It just means maybe it wasn't the right choice and you need to just adjust. But if you don't do it, how are you going to know if you got to adjust? See, we've been taught that it's wrong Things are wrong. Can't do that. No, it's called science. It's testing and proving and testing and proving and never beating yourself up for a bad result. Oh, that just didn't work. Okay, I'll try this. Oh, that didn't work. I'll try this. How do you know? How do you know if it's good if you don't try it? How do you know it's going to work if you don't try it? You got to try. That's right, Corey. You got to just do it. Now you got to do it with some consideration if there would be any type of physical harm. But from the mental perspective, I just don't see why we don't just get on it and ride. Get on that bike and ride the bike to wherever you want to go. Today, I don't know where it came from, but I got an email. And the email said that according to this site that ranks spiritual podcasts, my podcast, the Agape Center for Spiritual Living, ranked in the top 100. Can you imagine? We are number 87. I said, hey, I didn't even ask for it. That's cool. Well, why aren't you above 87? Don't know. Don't care. In my podcast channel, just so that you know, if you're not on my podcast channel, Agape Spiritual Center, it's podcast you can get on any podcast thing. All I do is I put my Sunday talks out there. I don't put these daily talks out there. That's purely Sunday. Once a week, every Sunday or Monday, I load that audio. So if you're into audio and like to listen, subscribe to my podcast channel. I think we download about 3,000 downloads every week on my podcast channel. So we're reaching a lot of people. A lot of people are looking for this information. They're looking to be set free. They're looking for practicality. This is one of the things that I understand more than ever. I am not about getting into philosophy that I can't apply. I'm not about getting into deep discussions about things. I'd rather explore the ideas that are practical, that we can use in our life to create this life of magnificence, that we have the potential. It's right within us right now. And yet our mind is our prison. It's interesting that we think other people are holding us prisoner. Some people will say, my spouse is holding me prisoner. No, she's not, or he's not. It's your perception of your spouse that's holding you prisoner. You, like this, can change your perspective about them and the expectations and what you need to do to meet them. You can change it like this. And they're gone. Gone. But if we hold on, we become attached to, oh, I got to please them. Garbage. Why would you be in a relationship that you can't be authentic? I was talking about this yesterday. I did my values workshop for 4 gentlemen in a corporation. And we got into a lot of different topics. And, I love that. I love people who have never been exposed to this teaching. And one of the things came about relationships. What about these relationships are? No. Relationships are there to support, to grow, to share, and have fun. And if you have that as the basis, then from there to build a deeper relationship, you find agreements that both people want to agree to that make that relationship for them a safe place. That's pretty simple. Just got to practice it. And the basis of it all is what? Knowing your top values, linking them to your partners so that your values support their values and their values support your values. Now you've got a relationship that has deep meaning. Now the relationship will not hold you prisoner. The relationship will be one of conscious choice because it's about your expansion, and then in your expansion, sharing and helping them to expand, and there's no judgment involved. Whoa! That's a great relationship. I love being in a relationship. Here's a key thing. Whoever I'm with in that moment, that's the best relationship I can ever have. And you go, whoa, what'd you just say, Lee? I said, you heard me right. Whoever I'm with in a particular moment, I am so fully present that at that time, that's the only relationship I have. My friends, that's what's called living in the now. I love that freedom to be in the now, to be fully present with someone, to be authentic with them, and for them to feel safe and be authentic with me. That's the juice of life for me. Well, it's one of my top 3 values. It's my number 3 value. Interpersonal relationships. I love that. And for me, interpersonal relationships are about intimacy, about really exploring deep ideas, being authentic and revealing the truth, supporting one another as we move forward. And you can do that in every relationship as long as you're fully present and aware. Gives life some meaning, doesn't it? So with that, I've given you some good stuff to think about today. I hope I give you some questions to ask yourself. Who's holding the key to the prison of your mind? Look in the mirror. You'll find that person. Realize you can unlock that mind. You can use that key and free yourself as soon as you decide to be you and to let go of all the nonsense. Guys, I want you to know I love you. Care for you. Just a little bit. Until tomorrow, create a great day, everyone. Aloha.